And the hot chick saw the regal alchemist with a full sack, and she said, "My goodness, where can I get me some more of that?" Now, of course, I'm being a little dramatic there for theatrical effect. However, the underlying frequency that you're going to be emitting as a man with a full sack is going to be so powerful. It's like, you know what it is? It's like you have ancestral aura just rippling through you and just emanating through you at all times. I was practically invisible to women for most of my life, up until I was about 23, 24. And that was about 6 years ago, because I'm 29 now. I'll be 30 in a couple months, which is strange to think about. But so I was pretty much invisible to women. And granted, you know, I was fat and I was not really ambitious, and I didn't have a good relationship with my own unconscious, because the more you have a better relationship with your unconscious, the better you're going to have a relationship with members of the opposite gender. And so there was this unique proclivity that I had in that time period to kind of milk myself into self-pity for not being able to attract women. Like, the reason that I became so interested in hot chicks was not because I was actually interested in hot chicks. Like, I was interested, don't get me wrong, still am interested. I prefer to be around hot chicks. But like, there's nothing wrong with being around beautiful women, because there's a difference, I guess, archetypally speaking, between beautiful women and hot chicks. But for the sake of the video and talking about hot chicks, I definitely got more respect. Like, I wanted to know how to get more respect from hot chicks. I was really interested in their psychology. And I learned about women just because I wanted to learn about women. I wanted to really know who they were and what they were about and why they were the way that they were. And I wanted to know, like, why did hot chicks, why were they so intimidating? You know, why were they so intimidating? What exactly was it about beauty that crippled myself as a man in the time that I was in? Because now I'm very indifferent to beauty. It's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just that I see it and I recognize it, and I see it as part of the drama of the entire existence. You know, I see it, and I still see Christ or Buddha or, you know, Krishna or whoever you want to call it. Bhagwan, I still see Allah in these women. I still see the divine spark in these women. I'm not hung up about it. Of course, I'm still going to have my impulses as a man, but it doesn't even feel like it's necessary. Like, I don't even think about feeling the lust anymore, really. It just is what it is. And there's a very much sense of freeing in that. There's something so freeing about it that I don't think many men will ever truly experience. But when I started to be celibate by choice, and I wanted to have, you know, be on semen retention, etc., I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, at least marijuana. The last time I smoked tobacco up until last August was 5 years ago before that. And now I don't really smoke tobacco too much. Maybe, actually, I haven't smoked tobacco in probably 3 weeks or so, maybe 2.5 weeks. But I don't really keep track of it. It's just that I only use it for shamanic rituals nowadays. So whenever I'm doing a shamanic journey or an active imagination, I'll partake in a little bit of tobacco and ask the spirit of the tobacco to help guide me in where I'm going and how I'm leading my life. Because it is a very grounding, protective, masculine spirit, the tobacco. But anyway, the point is that as soon as I started to become more just disciplined in who I wanted to be, like who I was really aiming to be, because I wanted to be somebody specific. I wanted to be somebody that Aphrodite could be attracted to. Really, that's that was really what I was aiming to be. I wanted to be someone that Aphrodite could like not help herself with, right? I basically had an affinity for is it Adonis? Is it Adonis? I can't remember the name of the mortal man that Aphrodite fell in love with. But in the story, in the Greek mythology, Aphrodite falls in love with an immortal, not an immortal, but a mortal. And this mortal and her have a love affair and all that. But I wanted to be, I'm pretty sure his name's Adonis, but I wanted to be attractive to Aphrodite. Like if Aphrodite was quote unquote real, I wanted to be attractive to her. And so I didn't know what exactly I had to do it, but I just started doing it. And so at one point, it was during my, I don't like to call it a weight loss journey anymore. It was definitely more of a spiritual journey than anything. But when I was fat, 6 years ago or so, and I was about 200 pounds, and I'm 5'6", okay? So I was, as I say in my recallings of the story, I was a hefty boy, so I was a very hefty boy, and I wanted to play video games and eat pizza and eat ice cream and just drink smoothies, all that stuff, right? I just wanted to have fun. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when the soul of existence is calling you to do something, if you don't do it, it's going to be like there's going to be internal resistance more so, and that's just going to cause more issues. So what ended up happening was I was playing the video game. I was playing Fortnite at the time, and I lost. I got second place. I was so close to winning. I was super upset, and I got really upset, and I noticed how upset I got at this video game, and I was like, I could keep eating pizza, and I could keep eating ice cream, and I could keep being a loser, because I was like literally losing in the video game, or I could, start doing some push-ups and aim to be a winner. And so that's what I did. I started to do push-ups and aim to be a winner, because that's who I, in my head, wanted to be in the spirit of that time. So that's what I ended up doing, and that's how I lived my life. I wanted to be a winner. And now it's more like we're all winning all the time. We just don't even know it. Grace is always running the show, right? Grace is always there. And with a full sack, it gets a lot easier to pick up the pace. Now, I say this story because as soon as I started to actually lose the weight, per se, or what I like to say is just more manifest of who I'm really meant to be, or actualize who I'm meant to be, I started to notice this strange reaction and response from women. I remember one time I was at work, and I had just lost a lot of weight. I was running 5Ks, I was running 10Ks, like I was pretty heavily into it, and this was about 5 years ago or so, maybe 4.5 years ago. And I remember there was a new gal at my work, and boy, oh boy, was she hot. Oh my gosh, was she hot, dude. And she was smart. She was really smart too. But she had a boyfriend that she was in a long distance relationship with, and she would come to me to try to talk about it, and I didn't want to talk about it really, because I knew that that was not a good idea. I knew that that wasn't a good idea to get involved with women like that. And I knew also that she was attracted to me, because I could literally feel the heat between her legs whenever she came over to me and was around me. I literally felt the heat between her legs. And she would purposely try to get close to me to try to start something and initiate something. And I realized, I was like, you know what? Me just saying no and being at the time, I was learning about semen retention and celibacy, but I wasn't fully dedicated just yet. But I knew that there was a few things happening. I just didn't know how to describe it. I didn't have a name for it yet. And so I was experiencing the benefits of celibacy and semen retention, etc. already. And I didn't even really know what I was doing. And, I just saw these benefits. But the thing is like, that was the first initiation process. Then fast forward to the last couple years, and I've literally, and I'm not saying this to flex, okay? I'm not saying this to flex, but I've literally had bikini models from the gym upset with me because I'm not asking them out, or I'm not doing things with it. Like, they get really upset that I have self-control. They get really, and these are women that are, some of these bikini models were allegedly married, okay? So definitely staying away from those types of women. But I soon began to realize, going back to the Aphrodite thing, I soon began to realize that trying to be attractive to Aphrodite, that is a interesting thing to pursue as a man with a full sack, because, well, yeah, you're going to be attracted to Aphrodite, all right, at least the spirit of Aphrodite, you might say, dwelling within our subconscious mind through people, right? So you kind of get to this point where you don't really know how to handle your own self, because you're like, wait a second, do I really have all the power here? Do women really want me? No. Like, they couldn't want me that much. And you bet your bottom dollar that they do. You bet your bottom dollar they do, because they don't want your looks, okay? Like, I know I'm a reasonably fit guy. I know I'm a reasonably attractive guy, but I'm not Brad Pitt or anything. Like, I know that I'm not, like, amazing in the looks department, but my presence and my ability to say no to women is what makes me so magnetic to them. It's being able to say no to Aphrodite. Maybe that's something to think about for you. If you were able to say no to sex from Aphrodite, genuinely, I think that's when you are officially in the godlike mastery level tier. Is when you can say no to sex without having to pay or anything. Like, you're not paying for it, you're not trying to bargain, or she just desires you so much, and this goddess desires you so much, and yet you can say no. That in of itself right there, I think that's a very powerful thing to think about and ponder. But that's the whole godlike mastery essence, and this is why I do my godlike mastery offer that I have, is to help men and women, because I do have godlike mastery initiates that are women, but it's mostly been men that I've worked with, simply because of this channel and what we talk about and how we talk about things. But I'm looking to branch out, I'm looking to broaden my horizon, because that's what the soul of existence is calling me to do in the spirit of the time, is to really branch out and to be open to that kind of thing, be open to the change without being attached to it. So, because it's always going to change. And when you have that full sack, man, it's just unbelievable the power that you have. But don't get high off the power, because then you're going to get prideful. And I've been there. Look, I've been there when I got prideful, and I really felt like, wow, it's one thing to be godlike, but it's another thing to have humility in your godlike mastery form. And it's a fine balance, because you want to practice godlike mastery, but you also don't want to get to the point to where you sell yourself lower than you're really worth, because you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings about them not being quite there yet. So hold people accountable, be accountable for yourself. That's what I mean when I say hold people accountable. I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to me. But yeah, because we can't not hold ourselves accountable on this path. Otherwise, our egos are going to get in the way. And I know this because I've experienced this myself in the past. But don't let the hot chicks, you know, persuade you too much. Just be who you are. Okay, just be who you are, and women will treat you better. I've never had more women treat me better than I have had with a full sack. Like, that's, I guess, the alchemy of it, you know. It's the turning the alchemical lead into alchemical gold. It's I was once invisible to women, and now it's like, it's so funny how it works, how you really, it's not that you don't care, because you want them, but like, you don't want them. Like, you're not attached to getting them. And that's what makes them like go crazy, man. It's what makes them go crazy. But anyways, I hope that this message was useful and insightful for you. It is bloody hot. It is bloody hot. It is our warmest day of the year so far. So it's nice, but damn, it's hot. So goes in line with the video though. Anyway, stay blessed. Peace be with you. I'll be updating everybody on the Regal retention case study soon, for those of you that are aware of this. And if you do want to apply to the Godlike Mastery offer that I have the application in the description box or the comment section below. And that is going to be for people that are truly ready for transformation and ready to make an investment in themselves to do so. So with all that being said, peace until next time.